Do you want to tell me a bit more details? I mean, where did you go? To which prison? How was it?
I went to Korydallos. There, they caught me again. I committed more offenses inside. I got into a fight. We beat each other up. I smuggled things again during a leave, and they caught me again there too. There, they caught me again. I committed more violations inside. I got into an argument. We got into a fight. I smuggled things in again during a leave, and they caught me again there too. Yeah, I got turned off by this whole thing, and it flipped in my head, meaning it stopped appealing to me. All of them are snitches. More than 80% of the criminals in prison are snitches and traitors. And this whole thing stopped appealing to me, you know? And because I knew inside myself that I have a talent I meant for other things, I say to myself, Kostas, you need to get away from this thing, from this whole scene, because I grew to hate it. I got sick of it. I didn't like it at all. I need to escape from all of this, and I started looking for ways to get out. I mean, from the whole life, the delinquency, the drugs, and all of that. And I found some ways out, and I fought hard. One very important part was exercise, of course. I mean, the first thing I did was I said that I need to regain my strength both physically and mentally, and I started doing exercise. I mean, the first thing I did was I said I need to regain my strength both physically and mentally, and I started exercising. Like a maniac, like crazy. I mean, to feel strong and to get all of this out of me. Then I went to a program with psychologists, a detox program in Thiva, who did an amazing job. And I really wonder why more people don't go there. I mean, the state gets in the way. It doesn't accept many people because a lot of kids left there changed. And I worked on a lot of things because we, as drug addicts in prison, had to work not only on drugs, meaning detoxing from drugs, but also on our character. Our bad self, let's call it that, you know? It was also the delinquency, this whole lifestyle we had grown up with for so many years since we were kids, which is the hardest part, to learn to speak differently, to hang out with other people, to have different habits in general.
And you have to change who you had become.
Yes, that. Exactly like that, how I had built myself. And I made it, you know? Imagine I was supposed to get out a year earlier and I chose to stay one more year on my own. I mean, I gave up my right to parole that I had there just to stay that extra year so I could finish the program. And I kept going even outside because I believed it was working for me, man. You know, I said to myself, okay, instead of getting out earlier and not being ready and ending up back here again, it's better to finish it properly. And I finally made it. Since then, I mean, I've been clean for 20 years. I haven't used anything like that, and I've kept the habit of working out. Let's put it this way, because when I realized that in general, people, we like addiction. Always, everyone. Some with gambling, others with electronics, others with alcohol. Everyone is looking for an addiction. Man, now it's with the phones. All the kids have gone crazy. I said, man, whatever you do, won't your addiction harm your health? I made my work exercise and hardly an addiction.
So since you went through all of this a bit quickly, I'll ask you some questions for you to answer.
Prison, huh? There's a lot to discuss.
So first I want you to tell me, so in general, some incidents that might have happened in prison that you remember that have stayed with you until now?
Prison, man. Okay, back when I was there, it was much harsher than now. Now there are many advantages. It was very tough. We went through really bad times, lots of violence. Violence? Of course, it's not like what they say or what you see in American movies. Being beaten, raped, or things like that just don't happen. There were some scuffles, okay? I mean, maybe a Greek would get into a fight with a Kurd and we'd all go out into the yard together and start fighting. I don't know. I've seen much violence and blood. I remember, man, one time I woke up to drink coffee in front of the cell and another guy fell from the 4th floor. He committed suicide and they were collecting his brains with dustpans. I don't know, just like that, so simply because he made a phone call, his girlfriend left him for another guy. His mother died, boom, from the 4th floor down. I've seen things like that, I know. I've seen a lot of violence, meat bones, blood flying everywhere. Because you heard it, when you go now into a clash with 100 against 100 people, it's like what you see in movies like Braveheart. Yeah, you don't go there to throw punches, you go there to kill. You grab whatever you can find, whatever's in front of you, any stone, anything, and you fight to survive. You're not going there for a fist fight.
So that's what you're telling me now, not 4 years like that?
No.
Just at the start, and then
In Korydallos, that was the case while I was there.
after that, where did you go, did we say?
After that, I went to Tiva. Okay, there it was different. It was a closed program, a prison, a program that was peaceful. It was different. There were jobs, activities, psychologists, and similar things. It was more correctional, you could say.
First, they kept you there.
At the beginning, I was in the jungle, literally. If you saw us wearing sportswear, trainers and all that, it meant trouble. If we were in flip-flops, things were calm.
Do you want to tell me, in general, do you still keep in touch with people who were there? Do you hang out with any of them at all? Do you have any friends from that time?
Look, many guys who are good, you know, we say hi, I can see them on Facebook, and that's it.
So you kept in touch?
Yes. Recently, like when I went to Albania for a tattoo festival, I met a lot of people from back then who have now started families, they're doing well, or they're living in different countries where they've moved. I have some contacts with some guys who have changed, of course, because, well, I can't still hang out with someone who's using or doing something illegal. I might have a client, give them a tattoo, but that's it. I can't have anything more, any give and take him. I might, for example, see him at the gym and train together, but I can't have coffee with him or hang out with him. Okay, you understand?
In general, from the people you saw over there, do you remember, because you also told me off camera, that they were some of the Mossos? Were there some years when it had the toughest criminals in Greece?
From the old days? Yeah, they were. I've seen very big names, very tough criminals. Indeed, some are still inside. I mean, imagine this. I have an acquaintance, a Serb, who sometimes calls me to ask me to send him a phone card. I met him inside and he's still inside.
Still inside, man.
There are a lot of people like that, man, okay. Usually the way the system is set up, man, you end up making a career in it. The system doesn't help you get out. On the contrary, it kind of wants you there, one way or another, to keep you trapped like a slave. You get it, right? It's not easy to get away. Imagine that I got out, man, and they had already, in addition to the sentence, they fined me 4,000 euros, which I paid to the tax office. So there was no help. I got out, just imagine. Even though I was a good tattoo artist, because I was the first professional tattoo artist to enter the Greek prison, and I was doing tattoos in there illegally, I'm saying it, okay, I did tattoos, I was making my money inside, I got out and worked as a delivery guy to save up money to buy my first machines again. Gradually, while I knew what the easy way was, I chose the hard way and fought very hard. No one helped me. My parents were poor, they didn't have a penny. I found things very difficult, and I also had debt. I also carried the stigma, the jailbird, the big deal gangster they caught just because they caught me with weed.
That's what I want us to talk about. But you now, in prison, you were with criminals.
Yes, there's no competition. The only ones who are protected are the pedophiles, those who kill women, who rape women, they put them in villas.
That's strange.
That's bad for me, they should face the same consequences. Do you understand? To be with everyone else? Because we didn't get any fair treatment either. We went in with everyone. I was sitting with a guy who'd killed someone and another with 500 years on him, fine. Yeah, everything was fine. Some were there for unfair reasons and some were there because they deserved it. And generally, it's a school that doesn't help you get out, it helps you stay there. That's the thing.
Do you want to tell me some names you saw there? Because you mentioned some to me earlier.
There were a lot of people inside. Palaiokostas, Rizai. I had come across those Satanists, Dimitrokalis, Katsoulas, who have even been released now. Those kids have been released.
They did extreme things?
They killed many women. They shouldn't be out because they are real criminals. So the state keeps people who have killed politicians in prison, and those who kill ordinary people like us are out. Do you understand now? There is nothing, no protection at all. I mean, the policeman who killed the child is out. If you kill a politician, you'll be in prison forever. You'll never get out.
In prison in general. What did you do? How did the day go by?
Our daily routine was backgammon, lots of crafts.
You said yes, you were doing tattoos.
A lot of tattoos and a lot of working out. We were obsessed, working out a lot, sometimes even twice a day when we were allowed. I spent a lot of time on tattoos and crafts. I remember we had sticks and straws to make small houses, backgammon boards, lighters, and similar things. We're talking about the peaceful days, not the days with fights, beatings, isolation, and stuff like that. I've spent a month in isolation, yeah, a month in isolation when they caught me with some stuff over there. I spent a month in a hole with only a mattress and a hole for a toilet. I lost my mind.
What are you doing there? What were you thinking about?
Nothing, man. Are you trying to survive? Push-ups all day until I'm tired and sleep, push-ups, sleep, push-ups, sleep without a cigarette, without anything?
Crazy?
And you try to stay sane and survive. Push-ups and sleep, 100, bam.
And let's say this too, because I told you before, back then, weren't medicines allowed in there?
No, not back then. Lately, though, I've heard of cases where they smuggled in steroids and all sorts of things.
Now you see someone enter and leave as a beast, making you wonder how that happened.
With pure exercise, it was the madness you have, because at that moment, man, you want to survive, to keep your body strong, to be powerful, not to lose your mind from the stress. So the only thing that could tire you out and keep you together in there is really hard training. Parallel bars, pull-ups, abs, running. We also did some sports, boxing and stuff like that, because a lot of people were coming in there who were involved in the nightlife, but champions, I mean wrestlers, boxers, very strong, very good champions who happened to get mixed up and ended up in there. So we were trained by people from different countries, Serbians, Greeks, Romanians. We did training sessions. I mean, there was a lot of that.
So do you become an athlete there?
Yes, officially though, an athlete.
What about nutrition over there? What do you eat?
Nutrition was hard. Back then, we'd steal some rice, set it aside for meals, maybe grab an egg and drink the egg whites. We just managed with whatever we could get. And those were our activities, working out, a lot of backgammon crafts. The tattoos I did, of course, was illegal, all right?
Do others study?
They knew, yes, they studied, they knew I was doing tattoos. It just wasn't anything crazy. They actually liked it too because I did good work, so they tended to turn a blind eye. I mean, I know about prison, but it's not like I did anything really illegal.
When you went in, let's talk about that too. When you went to prison, were you at your peak on drugs at that time?
Yeah, at that time.
So after you went in, they cut you off completely.
Just for a little while. After I found it again, I started drinking again for a while. You can still get it inside.
So there are drugs, but no steroids.
Yeah, now, okay, because things were easier. I don't know now to tell you the truth, but sometimes
if someone wants it, they'll find it.
People manage to sneak things in, even cell phones. I remember after the escape of Rizai that you saw on television from outside, and I was like, what happened, man? Damn, from now on, nothing will ever get in again. And then the crisis hit and everyone had cell phones. They would call me just for fun. They had TVs, they had whatever you wanted, everything inside. I'm not sure if it's strict or what's happening right now. During Tsipra's time, though, the prisons were very different, completely different.
Can you tell me a bit about that? In general, with the room where you were with the other inmates, how were things there, being with some others in the same room?
Hey man, it's not easy, you know, we were all just trying.
Because maybe they don't even speak Greek, I don't know.
Look, in the first cell I went to was a cell with Pontians. There was a lot of respect. Man, it was guys who smoked who committed those kinds of crimes, you know? I mean, quietly, working out, respectfully, and like that. I've been to a lot of cells, you know? Okay, you try to respect each other's wishes. If you really can't get along, you apply to change cells. If you're going to end up killing each other, okay, that's not possible. You try to fit in with the group.
And how often do you change cells, let's say?
If you ask for it and they move you.
So you could stay there for all the years?
Yes, you can.
You said you've changed many. Why?
I changed and started hanging out with guys who we had more fun, unlike the more serious group. That kind of thing wore me out. I just wanted more fun and laughter, and we both felt the same.
Did you have anyone you might have ended up fighting with, let's say?
No, that didn't happen to me, okay? I didn't have anyone I had a problem with. Just imagine, man, the moment I entered prison and the doors opened and I walked into Korydallos, I thought I was at my neighborhood square. Everyone was shouting my name, Proki, Proki, where are you? I knew nearly all of them.
But you told me when you were all together, when you went out there, that's when the fights would happen, when you were all there.
Look, I told you that because there are so many people in one wing, there are bound to be some conflicts. Come on, man, okay, everyone has their own issues. Anyone has his craziness, sometimes on the phone, sometimes with food, a bit of this, a bit of that, it'll happen. I know something, I know about some mess at some point. Imagine, I remember I got caught up in a really big fight. There was a lot of violence back then with some Kurds because they were into loan sharking, you know? So you would go there, ask them for a carton of cigarettes. For example, since your girlfriend, your mother couldn't send anything that week, you had to send him 1.5 cartons of cigarettes the next week. Some guys couldn't pay back and they would gather there and cause trouble, so we had to get together too. We Greeks had to organize and respond since something must have happened and we needed to act. We set them up because they were organized and responded instantly. They would gather on the spot and we set them up. We made a plan to ambush them and waited for them in the yard. And a lot of them gathered there, a lot of bones were broken.
So you have to be in cliques, let's say, somehow.
You have to, because listen, what if the Kurds come after you, for example? Or some other group, I don't know, and you're alone, no one will have your back, so you have to be in some cliques. You too. No matter how hard you try, you end up left out, it just can't be helped.
And you even told me that you were struggling there.
You're getting worse, of course, you're getting worse, man, because, for example, if one guy went in for a minor offense, you know, something stupid, and the other guy has 100 years, he'll approach him, get him into his mindset. You get it? Confuse him.